Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Jacqueline and today we're going to be talking about how to give your home witchy cottage vibes. With Halloween fast approaching, I thought what better topic to talk about and help any of you who want to turn your home into a witch cottage for Halloween or all year round for that matter. I really feel that sometimes witches are portrayed in an evil or scary way, and that's really not what we're going to be talking about today. This video is all about making your home feel magical, spellbinding, and creating those cozy cottage vibes. And also just staying clear of classic gimmicky Halloween decor in general. So if you're interested in creating a mystical home with a touch of spookiness, let's jump in. What exactly do I mean when creating a witchy look or witch cottage atmosphere? Now, there's many different types of witches: green witches, cosmic witches, hedge witches, and so many more. But for the sake of the video, I'll be combining all of these to create an overall eclectic look for you all. But before we dive in, why are witches associated with Halloween? Halloween is actually an old Gaelic tradition that originated with the festival of Samhain, when the veil between the spirit world and living world was the thinnest, allowing them to honour their ancestors whilst harmful spirits were warded off by carving turnips. People also wore costumes and masks to disguise themselves as harmful spirits and thus avoid harm. Sound familiar? Alongside the infamous witch trials across the world, a mass migration of Celts from the UK to the US in the 19th century was initially what brought Samhain or Halloween to America. Young women believed that Halloween was the best day for divination and often sought out fortune tellers to seek the names of their future husbands. So it's because of this mixture of history that we are reminded of witches around this time of year. A quintessential witchy home is of course a building that embodies fantasy and quirky design features. If I were to describe the style, I would say it's whimsical, eccentric in some way, and mystical. It has some elements of cottagecore as well as dark academia. We're not trying to make it feel creepy or scary, remember. The whole idea is that you're wanting to design a cozy yet magical environment. Architecturally speaking, when thinking of witchy homes, there's two clear images that come to my mind. A sweet English stone cottage complete with magical garden, or an ornate Victorian home that you guys have in the US. Are those the kind of houses that you imagine too? Either way, they are abundant with character and unique design features. But obviously, you may not have one of these homes. My home is very modern and angular, but the whole point of this video is so that you can emulate these architectural features and replicate them in your interior if you're renovating. But how do you actually go about doing that? A very popular architectural feature that we see in witchy homes are stained glass windows, in particular ones that use multicoloured glass. Beautiful glass elements that we often find in witchy homes, purple tones, and images that reflect nature, the solar system, or have an Art Nouveau or Gothic pattern, particularly have a witchy feel. Also, in talking about witchy architecture, unique shapes are also a common design characteristic. And perhaps that's through round windows. These were popular in Gothic architecture, but they're also used in homes. An ogee or concave curved roofs are synonymous with fairy tale-like houses because of their rarity and obscurity. Depending on the building, turrets are also common witchy architectural features, exactly like Hogwarts itself. Another design feature, very Harry Potter inspired, are elaborate staircases. And of course, I don't mean that they have to move, but as long as they're intricate in design and eye-catching, these styles of staircases fit the witchy vibe. In particular, wrought iron stairs, handcrafted wooden curved stairs, or Victorian stairs with sawn balusters. They're just a few examples of unconventional architectural features that exude curiosity. In order to grow plants and keep them at the best climatic conditions, especially when the weather is most of the time here in the UK, a conservatory not only fits a witchy style, but is practical when caring for plants. There are many different styles of conservatories, such as an orangery, sunrooms, or a standalone greenhouse. For this design style, common modern sunrooms are not appropriate. Instead, conservatories that are historical and have complex shapes will join nicely with the Witchy Cottage building. And lastly, a fun fact that in Vermont they actually have witch windows. A witch window is a window style that can be found exclusively in the Vermont area in America, and they're double-hung sash windows located in the gable end wall of a house. The name witch window is believed to come from a folk tale that witches cannot fly their broomsticks through the tilted windows. But I have to admit, I've never seen a window quite like it, completely unusual. A huge part of a design is of course its colour palette, and to really bring about a witchy atmosphere, think rich dark tones like emerald, midnight, grape, teal, claret, citrine, amber, and an assortment of grey tones. These jewel-toned hues will help create a moody yet earthy interior. Personally, I've always loved green kitchens. I think they're such a bold design choice that you don't often see in interiors. However, for a witch cottage, I think a green kitchen evokes the perfect blend of both whimsy and nature. When decorating a witchy cottage, we of course need to think about the walls and the flooring. Now, typical UK cottages have stone walls and wallpaper isn't really a thing, but if you have an American cottage, then by all means look to using whimsical wallpaper designs. Look for really intricate and ornate wallpaper for some ultimate magical vibes. For other cottages like ones in the UK, it's all about stonework. Dry stone, lime plaster, and flint walling, to name a few examples that are very commonly seen in English cottages. If that's the case, please do not paint the stone. Let the natural colour and feel of the stone become a design feature. Because encouraging more natural elements to the scheme is also how to connect with nature too. Stonework to me is the main feature of a classic cottage. Okay, so the walls are dressed, but for the flooring, dark wood tones would help to create warmth, but also align with a traditional cottage appearance. And that could be left as solid hardwood floors for a classic understated look, or to enhance the magical feel we're going for, look to intricate designs for inspiration. Patterns such as a basket weave and Versailles parquet flooring are perfect examples for this, and in a dark lacquer, it will add richness to the cottage. And for a more natural appearance, I particularly love end grain patterns because for me, they really allow the interior to connect to nature. To dress the windows of the interior, you're going to want to add warmth and darkness, and the best material for that is velvet. What I love about velvet is that it's actually quite heavy, and because of that, it instantly adds heat and warmth to any interior. Selected in one of those jewel tones I mentioned, it will tie the scheme together. Now that we can add furniture to the scheme, I would say that one of the biggest ways to create that witchy cottage feel is to use carved wooden furniture. Moody toned furniture that's preferably vintage will help to create a little bit more of a spooky vibe as opposed to lighter toned furniture. Search for gothic cased bookcases, and to level those up you could DIY the back and add some more mystical flair. Apothecary storage cabinets, and chunky dining tables with wheel-back chairs. Another chair I love to create a witchy home are tufted armchairs. Specifically ones with tall backs, but not comically tall though. But these come in a range of colours, so you can really fit them into your home. Tufted armchairs with turned legs are classic cottage furniture pieces that have a regal aesthetic. My last piece of furniture is a must for decorating a witch's cottage, and it's spool-turned shelving. They fit the antique, dark wood, ornamented themes I've mentioned, however they still seem a little plain on their own. Whether you're into herbalism or just simply want a unique display for your spices, it's one way to add some magic to your kitchen. Or alternatively, as an altar for showcasing your crystal collection, books and plants of course. Either way you decide, the shelving creates a wow feature for your interior. Moving on to lighting, many witches believe that the colour of a candle can invite many different aspects into our lives. Look to this chart for inspiration. But for candles themselves, I love black candlesticks and black candelabras. These are the epitome of Halloween to me, and the black candle holders will automatically make the space feel spooky. However, if you're not really wanting much of that spooky feel and you're going for more of a fairy tale type cottage ambience, what better lights to use than fairy lights? These twinkling lights are so delicate and they remind me of stars when lit in the dark, which is why they would be ideal for this look. My top home decor tip here is to intertwine them with tree branches and hang them from the ceiling for the ultimate celestial sky. Creating a cottage witch environment can easily be achieved with the addition of certain home pieces like beeswax candles, copper pots and pans, gold or copper accents which could even be as big as a sink or a bath, cauldrons, decorative glass jars, vintage books, bottles of lavender and salt, broomsticks to sweep away bad fortune, crystal balls and gemstones, leather notebooks, and a wood burner to warm up the cottage. An array of these witchy items will allow you to conjure a cozy witch cottage in your home. To me, one of the biggest ways to make your interior feel witchy is to include a mixture of different houseplants in your home. Two of my favourites are fern and hanging ivy. Although be careful with real ivy because we have some outside, and one year it decided to actually creep its way into the house through the plug sockets. Yeah, so it can be unruly, but bear that in mind, and if you're not into that kind of thing, just opt for an artificial one instead. However, these houseplants give a truly enchanted feel. Some other plants to include are dried hanging herbs. These would be ideal to hang in your kitchen and can be used to create herbal teas or for cooking or just as a pretty display item. Dried bouquets are such magical plants that instantly make your home feel part of a fairy tale. To bring your witchy cottage together, you of course need some artwork on display. And my top choices for this style are celestial art, esoteric themes, and nature inspired. I think that these really help to create a coherent scheme and make the magical themes evident. As I mentioned a bookcase in your interior, it must of course be filled with witchy books to complement. Obviously, decorating in this style is going to be incredibly personal to you, but I have no doubt that you'll find your own magic. Please leave me a like or an emoji down below to let me know that you enjoyed the video, and honestly that really does help grow our channel. And if you love interior design, home decor and all that creative stuff, feel free to subscribe or join us on Patreon. But for now, that's it for today's video guys. I appreciate if you made it all the way to the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!